Welcome back to the Dark Planet, where we explore the most fascinating and bizarre aspects of history. Buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. Make sure you watch until the end because number 10 will really turn your stomach. So grab your tinfoil hats, pour yourself a glass of whatever doesn't sound like poisoned Kool-Aid, and get ready to explore the dark side of human belief. Get ready to laugh, or at least chuckle nervously, as we kick off with the Church of SubGenius, a postmodern religion that satirizes organized religion, conspiracy theories, and pop culture. Founded in the 1970s by Ivan Stang, this tongue-in-cheek church worships J.R. Bob Dobbs, a pipe-smoking, grinning salesman. Subgeniuses embrace a philosophy of slack, absurdity, and the pursuit of eternal salvation or triple your money back. The Church of SubGenius provides a fascinating commentary on the nature of belief, the power of satire, and the human need for connection and belonging, even if it's through a shared love of a fictional salesman with a penchant for pipe smoking. Sometimes, the best way to deal with the absurdity of life is to embrace it, laugh at it, and maybe even start your own satirical religion that praises some dude named Bob. Next, we're venturing into the jungle with Jim Jones and the People's Temple, a group whose story is a chilling reminder that charisma can be incredibly dangerous, especially when mixed with cyanide. Jones, the self-proclaimed messiah of this group, led his followers to a remote settlement in Guyana called Jonestown, promising them paradise. But paradise quickly turned into a nightmare as Jones's behavior became increasingly erratic and controlling. The tragic climax of this story, as many of you know, involved a mass suicide where over 900 people, including hundreds of children, were forced to drink cyanide-laced Flavor Aid. It's a horrifying event that's been seared into our collective memory, a stark warning about the dangers of blind faith and the importance of questioning authority, especially when they start handing out beverages with unusual flavors. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're headed to the appropriately named Waco, Texas, to meet David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. This group, known for their apocalyptic beliefs and stockpile of weapons, found themselves at the center of a 51-day siege by federal agents in 1993. Koresh, a self-proclaimed prophet, believed he was chosen by God to lead his followers through a final battle with the forces of evil. The siege ended in a tragic fire that claimed the lives of over 70 people, including Koresh himself. The event sparked a national debate about religious freedom, government overreach, and the dangers of mixing firearms with religious fervor. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes it's best to branch out and find a new hobby, preferably one that doesn't involve stockpiling assault rifles. Hold your breath, because we're diving into the terrifying world of Shinrikyo, a Japanese cult that combined elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, and apocalyptic prophecies with a dash of chemical warfare. Led by Shoko Asahara, a man who claimed to be both a reincarnated Hindu god and the first enlightened one since Jesus Christ, Aum Shinrikyo gained notoriety for its bizarre beliefs and even more bizarre actions. Their most infamous act? Releasing sarin gas on the Tokyo subway in 1995, an attack that killed 13 people and injured thousands more. This act of terrorism shocked Japan and the world, exposing the deadly consequences of unchecked fanaticism and the terrifying potential for violence when religious extremism takes hold. Don't forget that sometimes the line between spiritual seeking and dangerous delusion can be terrifyingly thin. Get ready for a trip to the dark side of the 1960s with Charles Manson and his family. Manson, a charismatic but deeply disturbed individual, managed to gather a group of followers around him, mostly young people disillusioned with mainstream society. He preached a bizarre philosophy that combined elements of hippie counterculture with apocalyptic prophecies and a healthy dose of racial hatred. Manson orchestrated a series of gruesome murders in 1969, including the infamous Tate LaBianca killings, hoping to spark a race war that he called Helter Skelter. The Manson family's crimes shocked the nation and brought a chilling end to the peace and love era, exposing the dark underbelly of the counterculture movement and the dangers of unchecked charisma. The harsh reality of life is that sometimes the scariest monsters aren't hiding under the bed, they're walking among us, disguised as charismatic leaders. Next up, we're venturing into the shadowy world of the Order of the Solar Temple, a group that believed in a blend of New Age mysticism, Templar mythology, and apocalyptic prophecies. This secretive organization, founded by Joseph DeMambro and Luc Jouret, attracted followers seeking spiritual enlightenment and a deeper connection to the cosmos. However, their quest for spiritual ascension took a dark turn. culminating in a series of mass suicides in Switzerland, Canada, and France in the 1990s. The group's belief system, shrouded in secrecy and marked by a fascination with death and rebirth, ultimately led its members down a path of destruction and despair. It's a tragic story that reminds us that the pursuit of enlightenment can lead to very dark places, especially when it involves ritualistic suicides and a warped interpretation of ancient prophecies. Get ready to blast off with Heaven's Gate, a group who believed a spaceship was trailing the Hale-Bopp comet like it was a cosmic Uber. These folks weren't just stargazing. They were utterly convinced that hitching a ride on this celestial spacecraft was their ticket to a higher plane of existence. And how did they prepare for this intergalactic journey? By ditching their earthly possessions, adopting matching haircuts, and engaging in a mass suicide that shocked the entire nation and made a huge mark on cult history. I mean, I get being excited about comets. Plenty of people take a special interest in astrology, but this is a whole other level of commitment. It's a tragic story that reminds us sometimes the truth is not always out there, and it definitely isn't going to come from a random bald guy. Watch carefully, because we're about to witness a doomsday prophecy gone terribly wrong with the movement for the restoration of the Ten Commandments of God. This Ugandan cult, led by Credonia Mwerinde and Joseph Kibwetir, preached a strict interpretation of the Bible and predicted the world would end in the year 2000. They encouraged their followers to live a life of extreme piety and self-denial, preparing for the imminent apocalypse. However, when the world didn't end as predicted, things took a dark turn. In March 2000, a fire engulfed the group's church, killing over 700 people in what authorities believe was a mass suicide orchestrated by the cult's leaders. The tragedy highlighted the dangers of apocalyptic beliefs and the devastating consequences that can occur when faith is twisted into a tool for manipulation and control. It's a stark reminder that sometimes the end of the world isn't brought about by divine intervention, but by the actions of those who claim to speak for a higher power. First up, we have a close encounter of the bizarre kind with Raelism, a UFO religion that believes humanity was created by extraterrestrial scientists called the Elohim. Founded by Claude Vorilhon, who later adopted the name Rael, this group claims that these advanced beings visited Earth thousands of years ago and created humans in their image. Raelism promotes a message of peace, free love, and the eventual return of the Elohim, who will usher in a new era of scientific advancement and spiritual enlightenment. The group has also gained notoriety for its advocacy of human cloning, believing it to be the key to achieving immortality. While Raelism might seem like a harmless, albeit eccentric belief system, its claims of extraterrestrial intervention and its focus on cloning raise ethical and scientific questions that are hard to ignore. Oftentimes, the truth is stranger than fiction, especially when it involves alien creators and the quest for eternal life. And finally, prepare for a chilling journey into the heart of rural Canada with the Anthill Kids, a group led by the abusive and manipulative Roche Thériault. Thériault, a self-proclaimed prophet, established a commune in the Quebec wilderness in the 1970s, attracting followers seeking an alternative lifestyle. However, life within the commune was far from idyllic. Thériault exerted absolute control over his followers, subjecting them to physical and psychological abuse, bizarre rituals, and horrific acts of violence. The group's reign of terror finally came to an end in the late 1980s, when Thériault was arrested and charged with numerous crimes, including murder. The Anthill Kids story reminds us that cults can flourish anywhere, even in the most unsuspecting of places, and that the pursuit of utopia can easily descend into a nightmare when power is left unchecked. It's a story that underscores the importance of critical thinking, questioning authority, and recognizing the red flags of cult behavior before it's too late. And there you have it, folks, our whirlwind tour through the strange and often disturbing world of cults. From spaceships and doomsday prophecies to alien creators and satirical salesmen, we've covered a lot of ground. Remember, while these stories might seem unbelievable, they serve as a stark reminder of the power of belief, the allure of charisma, and the importance of critical thinking. So, the next time you encounter a group with all the answers, remember these cautionary tales and ask yourself, is this a path I want to go down? Or is it time to politely excuse myself and back slowly away? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more crazy content. See you next time. Hungry for more? Click the screen to explore more crazy facts about the Dark Planet. Don't miss out on the next adventure. Choose your video and dive into more amazing content. And now, let's take a brief moment to reflect on the stories we've uncovered today. The world is filled with fascinating and sometimes unsettling tales. Remember, knowledge is power, and understanding history helps us navigate the future. 3-second blank silent screen. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.